Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning for the full authority meeting, June 27th, 2025, of the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority. So right now I'll start with the land acknowledgement. The Niagara Peninsula watershed is situated within the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Onondaga, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississauga, the Credit, many of whom continue to live and work here today. The territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the land protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, the watershed is home to many First Nation, Métis, Inuit peoples. At the NPCA, we strive to further our commitment to shared stewardship of natural resources and a deep appreciation of Indigenous culture and history in the watershed in small ways every day. So it's now I call this meeting to order at 10:03. And if I could have the clerk do a roll call, please.
Vice Chair Beatty. Member Clark. Member Cridland.
Present.
Member Foster.
Present.
Member Grant.
Present.
Member O'Neill. Member Seaborn. Member Tattison.
Present.
Member Woodavine. Chair Metcalf.
Present.
And that's quorum, Chair.
Thank you. So we have a motion that the agenda for the full Board Authority meeting held June 27, 2025 be approved. Can I get a mover and seconder to get that on the floor? Moved by Vice Chair Beatty, seconded by Member Cridland. All in favor? And that is carried unanimously. Thank you. Are there any declarations of conflict of interest? Seeing none, we'll move to item 3. Can I get a mover and seconder for the full authority and closed session meeting minutes from our last meeting? Moved by Member Grant, second by Member Foster, that the minutes of the full authority meeting and the closed session minutes of the full authority meeting dated May 23rd, 2025 be approved. All in favor? And that is carried unanimously. Oh, Member Seaborn can't hear. Sorry.
Sorry, folks, we're just trying to make sure that we've got audio settings for everybody online. You can hear us, Member Seaborn? All right. Confirm the rest of you can hear us as well. Member Foster, you're good? Okay. All right, Chair, carry on.
Thank you. Just a little technical difficulty set us back. So the chair's update. So summer has officially arrived with school being out this week. We look forward to welcoming our campers back to Balls Falls and St. John's throughout the summer. I had the opportunity to join staff and volunteers at the tree planting in Burgoyne Woods in St. Catharines. It was remarkable to see volunteers of all ages come together to plant hundreds of trees and shrubs. A big thank you to our municipal partners at the City of St. Catharines and the Foundation for securing additional support to make this initiative come to life. On June 6th, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of Morgan's Point Conservation Area. Thank you to our partners, Michelle Elise Burnett, Wainfleet Historical Society, Niagara Geopark, and South Coast Tourism for coming together to bring this event to life. I'd like to extend a special thank you to our Public Advisory Committee members, Nokomis Cindy Lee Ecker Flag, for sharing her wisdom throughout the guided hike and for taking the initiative to arrange the First Nations families that have sought refuge in Niagara due to the forest fire evacuations to join us at Morgan's Point. Connecting the community to such a moving event and beautiful piece of land within the watershed is truly appreciated. Conservation Ontario Council met earlier this week. Unfortunately, I was unable to attend, but Vice Chair Beatty and CAO Lee Yates were able to represent the NPCA. I will call upon Leilani now to provide a brief overview of the CAO Council meeting and any other additional updates.
Thank you, Chair Metcalf. Earlier this week, Conservation Ontario Council met virtually. We received an update on several initiatives that Conservation Ontario staff are coordinating with the support and leadership from NPCA staff, including the Adapting to Coastal Hazards Across the Great Lakes project, natural assets, and various grant funding partnerships to support climate action, resilient communities, and agricultural best management practices to improve watershed health. On the topic of Great Lakes, our staff are currently planning the project launch event for the Lake Ontario Coastal Resilience Pilot Project. Join us on July 22nd at the shore in Lincoln to hear more from delegates across the shoreline and learn more about current impacts from Niagara-on-the-Lake to Oakville. And we look forward to seeing you there. We welcomed MPP Jenny Stevens and her staff Penny to our office for a meeting earlier in June to discuss NPCA priorities and upcoming events. With Queen's Park adjourned for the summer, we hope to connect with representatives across our watershed to discuss shared priorities and identify opportunities to collaborate further. Now, through you, Mr. Chair, I'd like to invite Member Cridlin to provide an update from the Foundation.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. Two updates today. Number one, our NPCF AGM was held on May 29th. We have some changes to announce, but first a big thank you to our leaving chair, Barbara Greenwood, who you all know. Under her leadership, we were able to advance our Nature for All for Always fundraising campaign and build our donation and revenues, which support our work around the table here. Lucky for the Foundation, Barbara will continue to serve on the Foundation board. So our new chair, you ask, this position is now going to be held by Brett Harrington, who was previously our vice chair. Brett's a longtime resident of the Hamilton area. Brett's commitment to conservation is evident through his 20-year-plus years of volunteer work in local ecological restoration and tree planting initiatives. His career is in the finance sector, or what I call, as a retired banker, the trust and relationship sector, and he brings that along with a strong vision of sustainability to his new role. If you've not met Brett, I would please encourage all of you to reach out and connect with him. And our new vice chair is Doug Wilson. Doug is a lifelong resident of the Niagara-Hamilton region and a certified professional accountant. Semi-retired, Doug's experience with the Niagara wine sector and passion for our watershed health are already benefiting the Foundation. Doug lives in Pelham, where he is an avid volunteer, including NPCA projects. There was no change to treasurer. It's yours truly. Please check out the website for more detailed bios on all of our executive. And then the final update is just adding a bit to the tree planting. First of all, thank you, Chair Metcalf, for showing up for that event. And a big thank you to the Rotary Club of Fonthill, who added their generous funding to help with this event. So that's it. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Donna, for that update, and great work continues. So congratulations on everything so far and looking forward into the future. We'll head right to correspondence. We have 3 items of correspondence today. We do have staff reports that provide further details on the correspondence items from Conservation Ontario. Can I get a mover and seconder to receive items 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3? Moved by Vice Chair Beatty, second by Member Grant. So the motion that the following correspondence be received. 5.1, correspondence dated May 17, 2025 from Conservation Ontario regarding Conservation Ontario's comments on the Special Economic Zones Act 2025, ERO hashtag 0250391. 5.2, correspondence dated June 4th, 2025 from Niagara Region, motion respecting consolidated general levy rate, and 5.3, correspondence dated June 11th, 2025 from Conservation Ontario regarding Conservation Ontario's comments on proposed Planning Act and City of Toronto Act 2005 changes, Schedule 3 and 7 of Bill 17, Protect Ontario by Building Faster and Smarter, proposed regulations, complete application, and the proposed regulations as of right variations and setback requirements. Can, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, so now I'll just call the vote. So all in favor? That is carried unanimously. Thank you.
Chair Metcalf, sorry, it's Member Whittabine there. I just had a bit of audio problem. I just had a question on the Bill 17 and Bill 5, and maybe our CAO can answer. So with strong mayor's power, so I guess my concern is, do we see any concerns with also with these bills and the strong mayor's power, and as the province drives forward to, to build, can they override some of these policies in the name of houses? And so that's a kind of a concern. I've seen something about our premier, might be giving up some greenbelt land for development. So I just have a general concern with the government of the day is, is conservation still protected, or can it be sacrificed through other policies like strong mayor? So maybe, I don't know if the CAO can answer my question, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Member Whittabine. I'll defer that to CAO Leanne Yates.
Thank you for the chair, and thank you for the question. Very good question, and I think as conservation authorities, we're still waiting for a lot of the details to come out as a result of these legislative changes. There's regulations that we're also waiting on that may affect our role in plan review from a hazard mandate and drinking source water protection in our permit review function, but we're hopeful in what's being released so far. There is recognition that as development proceeds, there is a focus on ensuring that it's resilient and safe. And so through our comments through Conservation Ontario, that's been a focus of our work to ensure that as we move forward through any streamlined approval processes, that there's still an eye to making sure that as we invest in this economy, we're building smart and safely. So we'll continue to monitor as the details come out, and through Conservation Ontario, we are meeting with provincial representatives and making sure that we continue to keep that message going forward, that as we do look to grow our economy, we're collaborating, we're at the table, we want to be part of the solution, but we also want to make sure it's done accordingly, that we're not putting people and property in jeopardy as a result of that. And we're also looking for those opportunities to enhance the watersheds as we move forward. So I think a lot of details are still to come, but those are the messages that we continue to put forward.
Okay, through you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, CAO Leanne, for that. It's just something I think we should, obviously keep an eye on, and look forward to any possible updates as this moves forward. So thank you again.
Thank you, Member Whittabine, for the question. Are there any other questions or discussion for the correspondence items listed? Seeing none, so there are no presentations, there are no delegations. Moving on to Section 8, consent items. We have 2 consent items today. I will look for a mover and seconder to receive these items and then take questions that members may have for staff. Can I get a mover? Moved by Member Foster, seconded by Member Taddison. So the following consent items be received. 8.1, report number FA 33-25 regarding Bill 5 and Bill 17, Conservation Ontario comments. Section 8.2, report number FA 30-25 regarding partnership with BC Parks and Foundation. Are there any questions for staff regarding either report? Seeing none, hearing none. All in favor? That is carried unanimously. Thank you. Section 9, discussion items. 9.1, report number FA 31-25 regarding agreement of services between the Corporation of the Town of Pelham and Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority. In 2024, the Town of Pelham directed staff to incorporate funding for Trees for All project into operating budgets for the years 2025 throughout 2028. Staff have brought this forward to formalize the agreement of services as required under the Conservation Authorities Act. This agreement will empower NPCA to complete bare root tree plantings on private lands. Are there any questions for staff regarding report FA 31-2025? Can I get a mover and seconder on the motion before us? Moved by Member Grant, seconded by Member Seaborn. So the motion that report FA 31-2025, agreement of services between the Corporation of the Town of Pelham and Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority be received, and that the agreement of services between the Corporation of the Town of Pelham and the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority be approved, and that the CAO, Secretary, Treasurer, and NPCA Chair be authorized to sign required documents to execute said agreement. And further, that the final executed agreement of services between the Corporation of the Town of Pelham and the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority be made publicly available on the NPCA's website. So before we take the vote, Member Foster, you have a question?
Yeah, thank you, Chair Metcalf. And so this is great news, and I'm really glad that Pelham is moving forward with this, and it gives a lot of certainty on this particular on this overall major project. I'm just curious through the staff. Do we have similar things coming into place with the remaining municipalities? I remember some agreements have come into place, but are we actively looking at doing the same thing with all the municipalities?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. Yes, we are working with the remaining municipalities. There are 7 remaining. Staff are projecting that 3 MOUs may be coming up in July, and we're still in conversation with 4 other municipalities for these services as well.
Great, thank you. And this is, again, this is really important for us to be promoting these partnerships that are coming into play. We're doing exactly what both the province and municipalities really want to do and have these types of agreements in place. So thank you. This is very good.
Great. Thank you, Natalie. And Melanie has something to add on that.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. Member Foster, I know you've been excited to kind of promote this initiative, and I just wanted to give you an update that you should see something coming out, I think, later next week. There will be some promotion of where we've come so far and kind of welcoming municipalities to partner with us further.
Perfect.
Okay, are there any more questions regarding the, of course, discussion items? Seeing none, I will call the vote. All in favor? That is carried unanimously. Thank you. Committee reports, there are none. Motions, there are none. Notice of motion, does anyone have a notice of motion they'd like to make present? Member Foster.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't know exactly the wording that's going to go on yet. I'm going to reach out to the CAO in the next little bit, but I'm going to be looking to have a motion come forward in and around fees, parking, etc., that are being paid in our parks that are not our large parks, if we put it that way. This would include Rockway, Cave Springs, and any other of these passive parks that we have, and having a policy put in place that there will be no fees charged for any of these. So, and I will reach out to staff to put the proper wording in place for this.
Thank you, Member Foster. Look forward to that report and that motion. Thank you. Does anyone have any other notices of motion to bring forward? Seeing none. New business. Is there any new business that members would like to bring forward?
Chair Metcalf, it's Member Whittleby.
Yes.
Just a couple, I guess it's other business, I would say. I was just wondering if Jeff Verkay was there, if he could give us an update on the ALICE program that we've been working on. And my second question was, I had heard that our provincial appointee for the agriculture position on the board in some conservation areas, they have been selected. So just an update on those two things, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank Member Winneveen. I'll defer to staff for the first question. Or Leilani, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We continue to meet with Alice. Although I can't make the announcement at this time, there has been successful discussions around grant funding that has been made available to conservation authorities that we did apply for. So more of that to come when we can speak more freely about that, but it is positive in positioning the NPCA to re-engage on restoration activities and best management practices with our agricultural community, and that's been a part of our watershed restoration enhancement strategy. And with that, we have been in discussions with Alice on bringing that program to Niagara. So, starting to take first steps to rebuild the program with the Conservation Authority and continuing to have the discussions on the role Alice will play as part of that program. So looking forward to being able to share more information as that becomes available. So very exciting work. And then I think the second question was around the agricultural appointee, and we have not yet received formal notification of that appointee, although more informally we do understand that somebody has been selected. So I can reach out back out to the ministry to check on the timing of that as well.
Okay, through you, Chair Metcalf. Thank you for those two items. Very much appreciated. Nothing further, Mr. Chair.
Great. Thank you, Member Witteveen, for the questions. So is there any other new business from the members? Seeing none. We have no items on the agenda for closed session, so I'll look to adjourn the meeting at this time. So look at the smile on Member Foster's face.
He's in the car.
He's in the car. Motion for adjournment. Member Cridland, second by Member Foster, of course. So a motion that the full authority meeting scheduled on June 27th, 2025 be adjourned at 10:27. All in favor? That is carried unanimously. Thank you, Member Grant, for joining us today under the circumstances and conditions there. Thank you for your dedication. Enjoy the weekend, everyone, and call for adjournment.